Welcome back to You've Made a Mobile App. Now what? Let's take a moment and talk about giving some love to your critics. I know it's hard to do sometimes because you know your topics, you love your topics, and you really do know your audience cares about your topics. And so, with that, you sometimes can get a little on edge when there's people who have criticized what you've done because it's to your heart. It's you. And so we want you to take a little bit of time and give love to your critics because you'd be surprised how turning a critic around can be extremely positive for you. So whenever you do get a negative review, you really need to take the time to address that review. And you want to do this in a very specific way. You want to reach out to the user. You really want to reach out to them and ask them what happened. Why is it that they gave you that negative review? Sometimes it really might be something very simple that they were just having a bad day and they projected it onto you, or it was just one particular thing. If you're, say, a restaurant owner and the French fries came out cold. Well, it's something that could have been fixed and addressed immediately, but if they didn't do that, they just had that in their mind, they just chose to leave you a negative review. So if you reach out to the user, you want to actually listen to the issue and you want to hear what the issue is without judgment. You don't want to give them the idea that they're wrong. You want to hear their complaints. You want to hear what it is that's truly the issue. And sometimes that just comes along with a simple question of how come? How come? Never say why. When you say why, it actually puts people in a mind frame that you're diminishing what they're asking. But if you say how come, they're much more open to give you the details of the issue. And then after you've heard the issue, you want to offer a resolution. You want to be able to give them something to let them come back. Now, whether or not that's an online service that you might want to offer them a one-on-one coaching, or you could be a brick and mortar and you want to invite them back in for another experience. It might have even been something that was out of your control. Say that you're a financial planner and you have the market took a dive. Well, it's really out of your control, but they may look at you as the expert that didn't help them. So you might want to offer them the time to come in and see what you can do to resolve the issue, even if you know it was not your fault. And then after you've resolved the issue, ask if they would be willing to update the review. You would be surprised how many people are willing to go back and update the review. Now, make sure that the issue is actually valid. Now, there is a way when you do get Google reviews, and I believe Yelp reviews as well, that if it is a untrue, if it's just somebody spamming you, they will work with you to remove that review. But 90% of the time, even I would say 95% of the time, the reviews that are on there were because of a very specific incident that had happened and not something repetitive. So once you've gone through the whole system where you've heard the issue, you've resolved the issue, ask them to update the review because it's really, really important. And at the end of the day, please don't take it personal. A lot of times it's just somebody having a bad day or having a moment, or it's really their issue, not yours. So you know your business, you know the service that you do give. You want to take the time to hear these people, but don't take it personal when you do. And you want to take a look at this feedback as a gift. It actually gives you a fresh perspective on your business that you might not have seen before. It might be something that you're so close to it that you can't see the outside from where you're at. And when somebody gives you a feedback, it really can give you a fresh perspective so that you can make that change within your business. And it gives you the opportunity to improve. You know, sometimes growth is hard. It's very, very hard. And especially if you're asking for feedback on your mobile app and the functioning of it and how it can best serve your clients, it will give you such a way to help you improve what's going on in your business. And actually, a lot of your critics, when you take some of those changes and put them into your business and improve your business, they'll start telling everybody. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want them to tell everybody about the wonderful experience that you were able to show them that you cared. And it also helps give you some new ideas, things that you just may not have ever even thought of, because you're so close to things, you don't see it. And that's one way that you can do this. You can just ask for feedback, because it can be one of the big, because really, isn't it all about customer retention? That's really what it's about. So giving love to your critics is one other way to help you keep your customers coming back, or as we like to say, absolutely keep your customers coming back. Because it's actually a fact that retaining customers is 80% less expensive than acquiring a new one. In fact, if you haven't taken a look at your own marketing and figured out how much it costs for you to acquire a new client versus retaining an old one or an existing client, you really should take a good hard look at that. Because customers that are already in your business already know you, they like you, they trust you. And so adding more value to them and getting them to come back is really very easy to do than it is to constantly be acquiring new people.